Just in at the device drop, we got a PlayStation 5 system in for overheating issues, and it also has a damaged HDMI port. We can see it has a nice bend in the HDMI. System is definitely really dusty. Take a look at the front of the system here. It's just packed with dust. So let's start taking the system apart and get it cleaned up. Look at that dust. Fan is looking nice and dusty. Take a look at the inside of the system. We got a decent amount of dust in there. All right, now let's head over to the dust box and blast this system out. System's about to go into an HVAC box, and it's about to get hit with over 120 psi of air pressure, and it's going to blast all that dust out of that system. Fan was flying out of my hands there for a minute. All right, so this fan's gonna need a little bit of I'm gonna have to wipe this fan down. Still got some dust that's clinging onto this. So the dust that's on the system, I'm gonna have to wipe that fan down. All right, let's get the system taken apart. D-Brawl, how's it going? Quinn, oh, what's up? Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, when I'm at the dust box, I can't read the chat. I'm not in front of a monitor. I'm halfway across the store. I dropped a screw. All right, all screws have been removed from the system. The system looks like it's never been opened up or serviced before. I can literally lift the system by the heat plate. Look at that. Take a look. Take a look at this. Have my hands holding onto the heatsink, into the heat plate. Literally lifting the system by the heat plate. Now listen to when I go to take this heat plate off, it's gonna have like a pop sound to it. Now listen. All screws have been removed. Hear that pop sound? That's that contact of that thermal putty touching the board. If this thermal putty is not replaced in the process of cleaning these systems, it will cause a thermal issue of the transfer from these components to these pieces here. This is when this plate goes back down again, and you screw it back together. It doesn't have the same thermal property or contact with the board as it once previously had. So that's why here at the device drop, we completely replace the thermal putty on these. Damn, only 2 people. Last live stream, or last system we just did a repair and hit got a decent amount of views. We're getting up there for a few viewers at a time. All right, now it's time to lift this board up, and we're going to be doing an HDMI port replacement on this. And we have a nice dry spot towards the top of the processor there. Right there as well, we can see the dry spot. All right, let's set this off to the side real quick. I gotta get my desk set up for the HDMI repair. This will just take a moment. I was not prepped and prepared for these. I was doing repairing a controller last. So let's get this set up here and clean this desk real fast. Get that all prepped. Okay. And now I just need to get the soldering clamp in the right position. Hot airflow. Put that in the right spot. Right position. I should flip that around. Okay, right about there. May need to slightly reposition in a minute. Okay, good there. Counterweight. That's perfect. In the right spot. Perfect. And I am not set up yet. 1 second. Thought I had this one prepped. This one's not prepped yet. I gotta prep this HDMI real fast. Just over here. Now we're just preheating the board up. We're going to be able to desolder that. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Set the solder. Clean. Time to add solder to the board. Flux down. And perfect amount of solder. Couple more seconds. And that is perfectly soldered onto the board. Do I work with computer motherboards, Timmy? Mainly game systems. I do not do motherboard work on laptops. I'm not very familiarized with, I would have to get the schematics, but I'm very familiarized with the PlayStation 5s and Xbox schematics of the circuitry of those, so I'm able to really figure out pretty much almost any short and almost any problem with a PlayStation or Xbox system. That's what I specialize in, and I've worked on game systems for years and years. I've been working on game systems since the original release of the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So I've been working on those systems professionally since that time. So I used to work for a video game store doing game system repairs for a video game store as one of my first companies that I branched off. That's where I branched off from that game store into the device drop. So as that's cooling down, I'm going to clean up and prep the heatsink. But I have worked on a variety of other systems before. It just all depends on the nature of the repair. So sometimes I can track down these shorts on a laptop and replace it. But the problem is that sourcing some of the parts is very difficult to find on a lot of these laptops. So that's where it comes down to, it is whether or not I can fix it, is whether I can get a hold of the parts. So a lot of the parts I can get for the Xbox, pretty much, and PlayStation, almost all of them, except for a few parts, are very difficult to come by. Laptops, I find those to be the most difficult to find the parts for. And I'm trying to, well, here at the device drop, I'm trying to really hyper focus on certain type of repairs. Because see, the problem is when it comes down to devices that you're not very familiarized with, it takes time and research to understand and figure out what you're repairing. And that time alone takes up money. And I'm trying to streamline the business where I can really hyper focus on certain repairs and be very efficient at those repairs and build the business around those repairs that I'm really good at. So if I happen to decide to do, I'm going to do an Asus motherboard on a laptop, well, I'm going to have to now research, figure out the different chips, find the manufacturers, suppliers, and okay, and then replace it. But then I'm only probably going to be repairing that one board one time, probably out of like 6 months, where I'm going to be doing like a PlayStation 2, 3, 4 of them a day, variety of different problems. And sometimes a lot of the problems are very like repeatable, like HDMI. Okay, system has already been previously cleaned, but it's still shutting down even though everything's good, like liquid metal wise. Ends up failing after 20, 30, like not 20, 30, but like failing after like an hour or two of gaming, and then it shuts off, blue light flash beeps, and then power cycle the system off, turn it back on, it seems to run again, and then it's kind of intermediate shutoffs. Those are usually related to MOSFET issues. System has issues where it's like a short out problems. You kind of trace the short of the short, and it's like, okay, it's the SSD controller. Replace the SSD controller. It could be a power management chip, and those are usually readily available on the PlayStations or the Xboxes that I'm able to easily replace and repair and source those parts. But when it comes down to like an HP laptop, it's like, okay, I got to now source those parts and find new suppliers, and that takes a lot of time. So to stay profitable, I don't want to be doing too many different type of repairs, because if it gets down to the part I'm doing too many like odds and end repairs, ends up cutting into the profits. This is the best way to put it. So right now I'm polishing off the oxidation off the heatsink. And if anyone's interested in getting their systems repaired, HDMI fixed, overheating issues, definitely visit DeviceDrop.com. If there's interest in getting their systems repaired, visit DeviceDrop.com or visit us locally in Wyandotte. Make sure you drop a follow if you've not done that yet. Yeah, for mail-in service right now, we're only doing the game systems right now. Locally, we do iPad repairs, phones, tablets, computers, computer repairs as well. So for right now, for mail-ins, we're only doing just those particular repairs. And those, that's best as I'm able to get it, as pitting up the processor there. I'll just do one more attempt on that area right there, see if we pick up any more of oxidation. And those marks are pitting of the metal. I can't polish that out. But all oxidation has been removed. That is nice and clean. All right. Now, we just need to extract oxidation of the metal. It's very important this oxidation is removed, because what would happen is that liquid metal will be repelled from it, and it's almost like hydrophobic, and it repels the liquid metal. And this liquid metal is important to be there because it allows the thermals to transfer from the processor into this heatsink. All right, now it's time to clean up the blue thermal putty on this system here. Nice and cleaned up. Now let's go take a look at that. Let's go take a look at that solder work on that HDMI. You can see how the solder flows all the way from the pad all around the pin. Perfect solder joint all the way around. Every single pin on the back of the HDMI to the board is an equal amount of solder. True perfection there. Take a look at that mount. Solder flowing all the way up the mount there. We got a perfect solder there as well. Now let's take care of this oxidation on the processor, and then reapply thermal putty. Okay, so if you do a motherboard swap on a laptop with a different graphics card, your heat sinks will be different. So depending on the graphics card that is on those laptops, when you do a swap, you want to make sure that you have the upgraded cooler with it as well, because the original cooler that was on your system for a lower end graphics card will not be compatible with your laptop. So you make sure you get the correct cooler with that. Because also the placements, everything's different. Each cooler is designed for each of those particular laptops. So make sure you get the correct cooler with that. And those marks you see there are actually scratches from the high spots on the heatsink pressing against the die. That is not oxidation, or remove the oxidation, but this right here cannot be polished out. There's actually scratches on the die. Perfect application, and now let's clean up all of this blue thermal putty and reapply. Oh, and one other thing too is if you upgrade the your motherboard on your laptop, you change it out to the 2070. Also, you need to make sure you have the correct power supply, because it will consume more power. So you need to make sure you have the correct power supply that is capable of that. You're basically building like a brand new laptop pretty much when you do something like that. Unfortunately, it's not like the older laptops where you can literally, I remember owning an Alienware laptop, and it was like a first or second gen like i7, and I was able to upgrade the processor and then pull the graphics card out of it and swap it out with an upgraded graphics card. Also had to swap out the heatsink too, and I had to get a bigger power supply. Went from like 150 watt to like a 250 watt. All running on all on the original motherboard. But now you can't do that anymore. You cannot just swap out the CPU and keep the motherboard. You have to swap out the entire motherboard because everything is just soldered onto the board. Yeah, but that's, of course, the company started realizing, oh man, we're losing so much money. We need to literally solder everything to the motherboard. It's like, really? It would have been nice if they just continued using the desktop processors. That would have been amazing. Yeah, so a lot of my music and my live streams are kind of like 80s, kind of 80s vibe feel. I kind of like making that type of music at times. So, but I mean, there's some other music I kind of create to a little bit different genres and stuff. But I use Suno to make my music, and I like messing around with the studio and creating different beats and stuff. So let's get this clean. Actually, I'm gonna pull this heatsink off real quick, and let's check it real fast. Make sure it's clean. So some of them I use some of the studio stuff. Sometimes it's just not fully all the way through the studio. All right, let's get this heatsink cleaned up a little bit better here. Really, that dust is really clinged onto the heatsink. So we're gonna have to use a brush to knock it off. That's good. Need to clear the surface of the MOSFETs up. MOSFETs, clear the surface of it. Don't need to pick around it, just need to have it cleared so that way the new putty can go on. Oh, I didn't clear that top there. Now I just need to clear off the top heat plate, so it has a nice clean surface for the new thermal putty to make contact with the heatsink. This stuff is so dry and brittle. You just hit it with a brush and you just with a Q-tip and cotton pad, it just falls right off. Sad part is a lot of companies are not replacing it. They're not replacing this thermal putty. It's very important. Nice and clean. Double checking, good. Now for the millions of screws. I mean, the funny thing is, I could repair one of these systems in literally probably 20 minutes if I didn't take care of the liquid metal and redo the blue thermal putty. I mean, just that alone takes up the majority of the time that goes into these repairs. But at the cost of the customer's systems not operating properly, because I mean the blue thermal putty alone that takes up quite a bit of time, and it's a step that cannot be skipped, and so many companies are skipping this step. So many. So that blue thermal putty goes on as a liquid and dries as a foam. The reason why they use this instead of thermal pads is because of the varying of different heights of the heatsink. Instead of having all these different thicknesses, it's just easier to apply the liquid, and then it cures as a foam, and then of course it breaks apart when you take the system apart and put it back together. So I tape these wires in place so that way they don't move and get over the seam of the shell and it would get crimped or happen to get in front of the screw mount. right here, which would cause the wire to get damaged. So that's why in manufacturing they put tape over here. So we're just going to do the exact same thing. Tape the wire down. Adjust the top shell off real quick. And put the grounding anti-static piece there. Let's wipe this fan down. Now, this dust on this system really clinged onto it. I mean, look at that cloth. Look at that clean cloth there. Oh man, whew. That's a dusty system, man. This is making me sneeze. Nice and clean. All right, let's switch up part of the cloth there. All right, got that fan nice and clean. All right, then we got to clean up the ventilation grates. This cloth was brand new before when I started this cleaning part. All right, let's clean these ventilation grates now. Nice and dusty. And now let's do an HDMI check test. All right, here we go. Do we have video? Let's find out. Let's find out. And it is alive. If anyone's interested in getting their system repaired, visit DeviceDrop.com. Visit us locally to have your system repaired. But this concludes for this repair. System is all set, cleaned out, HDMI replaced. Overheating issues have been resolved, and it is now ready for pickup. If you guys want to have your system repaired, visit DeviceDrop.com or visit us in Wyandotte, visit us in Wyandotte, Michigan.